So there are quite a few systems in the Eastern Pacific and the Atlantic. The United States is under a threat for a couple systems. What are these systems? What could their impacts be to land? Those questions will be answered in this video. ACBF Cyclone, Monday, August 4th, 2025. I'm going to start off with Tropical Storm Henriette. This is a new tropical storm that just developed earlier today. It currently has 45-mile-an-hour sustained winds, and as it's forecast to reach a peak intensity of 60 miles an hour. And as you can see, it heads toward the Hawaiian Islands. But I checked the models, and most of them, and actually all of them that I had checked, show it going north. One of them actually kind of shows it going north and then around the Hawaiian Islands, then going back to the same area, but just going north over them as if there's kind of a barrier surrounding them. In the Eastern Pacific, there's also a new disturbance. It currently has a 30% chance of development in the next 2 days and an 80% chance of development in the next 7 days. This poses no threat to land, however, that I can see. But I will keep an eye on it to see how strong it gets. It doesn't pose a threat to Mexico or anything. It'll likely just be a fish storm. What that is just a storm that stays out at sea. And then this disturbance 2, it currently has a 0% chance of development in the next 2 days and a 30% chance of development in the next 7 days. I do expect this to develop, but it'll be very short-lived and then head towards South Carolina. Chantal, back in early July, it made landfall in South Carolina. So the last storm in the Atlantic before Dexter, which is a new storm that I'll go over in just a sec, the last storm in the Atlantic did hit South Carolina, and they could get another hit a month later. It did bring a lot of damage to Myrtle Beach, and it has a 30% chance of development in the next 7 days. And whether this becomes Tropical Storm Erin or Tropical Storm Ferdinand is gonna be the question, because this system will develop at around the same time. And Tropical Storm Dexter currently has 45-mile-an-hour sustained winds. This is a new tropical storm. This is our first tropical storm since early July. Its pressure is still pretty high, but it's already likely reached its peak intensity of 45 miles an hour. Previously, it was forecast to reach a peak intensity of 50 miles an hour. Now it's been brought down to 45. And then Disturbance 1, it's just off of Africa, just south of the Cabo Verde Islands. It currently has a 0% chance of development in the next 2 days and a 50% chance of development in the next 7 days. This is the system I am most concerned about long term. I'm going to show you the models on this. So this is the GFS model, the American model. So here we have Dexter right here. The GFS shows it maybe getting a little stronger and then start weakening. And then if you look at the Carolinas very closely, you can see a little spin up, and that could be Erin or Ferdinand. But then at around the same time, there's a little area of spin right here, and that is what I'm expecting to be the one that is off of the coast of Africa, and it could become pretty strong. I think it will likely be our first hurricane of the season, and then it could hit Canada. That's just one of two scenarios, but the GFS so far this season hasn't been really the most accurate. They do show it reaching maybe Category 2 or Category 3 strength, but I think what's maybe more likely, because the European model has been right more often this year, and it is a bit of a scarier scenario, but here they have Dexter, and then if you look closely, there's a little spin up off of the Carolinas. It sits in the water for a little longer than the GFS shows it, but it also makes landfall a little far east, maybe into North Carolina. And then if you look very closely at the bottom of your screen, I'm going to take you out in time. Around now, this is what could be Ferdinand. They don't show it developing until later, after the first system that hits the Carolinas. And then it rapidly intensifies, makes landfall probably as a Category 2 hurricane in the Caribbean. And then it keeps strengthening. It kind of hits every Caribbean island, and then it may even strengthen to a Category 5 hurricane. And this is a track like Irma. I'll watch if it moves into the Gulf without hitting Florida or Cuba, or if it does hit Florida, which could be really bad. And it is almost 20 years after Katrina, so if it does even come maybe to Louisiana, I'm not sure if that'll happen. That's way out in time. But I will be keeping a very close eye on this. This is the system I am most concerned about right now. Be sure to subscribe to be safe from this system and systems to come and this system. Every system to come, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see ya.